Welcome back to our channel where we provide updates and undisclosed narratives on Catherine, Princess of Wales, and her royal family. We provide you with the exciting news: William and Catherine shocked over Camilla's bad action at Prince George's birthday. Last month, Prince George turned 12, and the argument between Prince William, Princess Catherine, and Queen Camilla about whether to send Prince George and Princess Charlotte to residential school in September became worse. In this video, we'll find out what Camilla did wrong to Prince George on his birthday, and how Prince William and Princess Catherine made Prince George stand out. A fight at boarding school and a prince's pain show how the Waleses and Queen Camilla's relationship is becoming worse. Kensington Palace produced a new picture last month to celebrate Prince George's 12th birthday. The picture was designed to show him as a joyful, confident future monarch. The happy young prince, who was seen in a casual moment in Norfolk, represented the House of Windsor's contemporary and traditional side. But palace sources say that the truth is far more chaotic than the carefully planned grins show. The Prince and Princess of Wales are in a nasty and growing spat with Queen Camilla, and the kids are stuck in the middle. The main point of contention is what Prince George and Princess Charlotte will learn in the future. As the kids get closer to the age when royal tradition says they should go to full-time boarding school, Prince William and Princess Catherine are said to be digging in their heels and pushing for a more family-centered upbringing. This reluctance has put them on a straight collision course with Queen Camilla, who together with King Charles is considered to be a strong supporter of keeping the royal school system as it has always been. But the problems go far deeper than just a dispute over how to teach. People close to the Wales family say that the Queen has been cold and dismissive toward the Wales children, and that this behavior reached a breaking point during Prince George's private birthday party. This episode, which made the young prince cry, has not only made the dispute worse, but it has also apparently led to a brutally honest statement from George himself, one that shows how the old wounds are still open and how delicate the present is. The future king is said to have told a trustworthy member of the household, "Camilla is just my grandfather's wife. I have one grandma, and that's Diana." This genuine and moving message, which echoes the feelings of millions, sums up the essence of the catastrophe that is presently happening inside palace walls. It's not only a fight between people and their parenting approaches, it's also a fight for the heritage, tradition, and very spirit of the contemporary monarchy. Birthday. Joy turns to bitter tears. The event that showed the break. It was carefully prepared for Prince George's 12th birthday to be a happy family event. He started the day with his favorite meal, and family members came over with presents and kind wishes. The mood at Anmer Hall, the Wales' home in Norfolk, was one of easygoing enjoyment, which was quite different from the formality of royal life. The big lawns were full with games, and the day was full of laughing and fun, just how a little boy's big day should be. But as the day went on, reports said that a sense of tension started to build. The anxiety came from the fact that a major family member was missing Orla, the Wales' beloved black cocker spaniel. George, who is quite attached to the dog, was asking for her all day. Orla has always been there for the prince, giving him comfort. The dog has been his faithful friend through everything from their lively excursions through the royal grounds to calm afternoons by the fire when she would snuggle up and listen to him read. George had one simple emotional desire for his birthday: to have a picture shot with Orla and his birthday cake. It was something every 12-year-old would want to remember a wonderful time with his closest buddy. Several people who were there said that Queen Camilla bluntly turned down this basic request. George was really excited for Orla to come into the room as the family gathered for the cake-cutting ritual and formal pictures. Witnesses said that the conversation was heated instead. When the request was made, Queen Camilla reportedly turned it down and told them to go ahead with the pictures without the dog. If she gave a reason, it wasn't evident right away. Some people thought it was a violation of some unwritten rule, while others thought it was a pointless and planned show of power. A staff worker had already taken Orla away from the celebration, since they thought it was Camilla's direct command. When it became evident that the dog would not be coming back, Prince George's initial surprise developed into obvious grief. Witnesses said that the little prince's eyes filled with tears as he tried to figure out why his basic birthday request was being rejected. It is believed that Princess Catherine stepped in when she saw how upset her son was. She is said to have gone up to Queen Camilla and softly but firmly asked for the dog to be brought back, saying how much it meant to George. The Queen, on the other hand, did not move. Her rejection was called unyielding, which made Catherine quite angry and made the room seem very awkwardly quiet. People saw the young prince sobbing and shivering with despair since he couldn't control his feelings. What should have been the happy end of his birthday had turned into a time of public shame and private pain. The event only lasted a few minutes, but its effects have lasted for weeks, turning a private family fight into a key point in the ongoing royal drama. Many people thought the Queen's actions were more than simply about a dog or a picture. They were a clear example of a lack of empathy and a desire to use her power even if it meant making a kid unhappy. The question rang through the halls of the palace and quickly spread throughout the world. What did it say about the actual nature of the lady who now wears the crown that she could so easily ignore a simple birthday greeting from a future king? The boarding school battleground, old ways versus a new monarchy. The birthday event was a tremendous spark that set off the already heated discussion around boarding schools. For months, the main thing that has caused problems between the Waleses and Buckingham Palace is the school that Prince George and then Princess Charlotte will go to. There is no doubt about royal tradition. For centuries, heirs to the monarchy have been sent away to prestigious full-time boarding institutions to learn how to be leaders. People thought that King Charles's time at the renowned ascetic Gordonstoun in Scotland, which he memorably called Colditz in Kilts, was necessary for forging character. William and Harry the Princes did the same thing. They went to Ludgrove School before going to the famous Eton College. The system is meant to teach them discipline, independence, and how to comprehend the hierarchies they will one day lead. People say that King Charles and Queen Camilla really believe in this custom. They think that boarding school is not only an option for education, but also a very important part of being a royal. It gets a future king or queen ready for a life of service by taking them out of the safe palace and into a wider, though still very affluent group of people. A source close to Buckingham Palace said, "For the king and queen, this is about continuity and preparation. It is the road they are familiar with, the one that has led to kings and queens for hundreds of years. They think it's important to teach the resilience and feeling of responsibility needed for the top position." But Prince William and Princess Catherine are going in a different direction. They are doing this because of their personal experiences and a wish to protect their children from the pressures they faced. William is aware of how emotionally draining it can be to be separated from his family early on, even if he had a better time at Eton than his father had at Gordonstoun. His mother, Princess Diana, had a huge impact on how he sees things. She was a strong advocate for a more emotionally engaged and hands-on approach to parenting, and she regularly broke royal rules to make sure her boys had a normal existence. The Waleses have already shown that they are modern. They chose Lambrook School near their Adelaide cottage home in Windsor because it is a preparatory school that allows flexible and weekly boarding instead of requiring full-time attendance. This shows that they want to keep their family together throughout their children's formative years. A source close to the pair said, Catherine and William are adamant. They know how good it is for their kids to have a stable, loving home life, and they don't want to give that up. Catherine thinks that George and Charlotte are doing extremely well, and she thinks that a lot of it is because they know their parents are there every day. The thought of sending George away full-time in September is making me quite anxious. Because of this collision of ideas, there have been a lot of difficult talks. The King and Queen are said to think that the Wales's position goes against important rules and might lead to a future king who isn't ready for the crown's heavy responsibilities. Camilla is considered to be the strongest advocate for tradition, claiming that William and Catherine's sentimental attitude is bad for George's future. On the other hand, the Waleses think that sticking to tradition is old-fashioned and might be harmful. They're not against the monarchy, they're trying to change it, the person who is close to Wales said. They think that a king who is happy and emotionally stable is a much better asset to the country than one who has been put in an institution too soon. The birthday event simply made them more determined. They are afraid to think about how little support George would have when he is alone at boarding school, if Camilla can be so callous to his emotions over a simple thing. The shadow of Diana. I have one grandmother. The fight over boarding school and the hurt feelings from the birthday celebration have brought to light a deeper, more intimate source of anger that has been building for decades, Princess Diana's legacy. Prince George's supposed statement, Camilla is just my grandfather's wife, I have one grandmother, is Diana, is the strongest sign yet that the family's difficult past is not over. Prince William has made it a point to make sure his kids know about their grandma who has passed away. He has spoken about keeping her memory alive in public by telling tales and showing pictures of the Granny Diana they never met. Prince George is now 12 years old, which means he can grasp the more complicated and difficult parts of that history, such the end of his grandparents' marriage, Camilla's participation in it, and the huge public love for Diana that still exists today. The domestic workers say that the kids know what's going on. They may observe the stiff, even tense civility between their mother and Queen Camilla. They see how Camilla's presence can change the vibe at family events. George's comment wasn't uttered in a fit of rage as a youngster might have. It was said in a calm, thoughtful talk following the birthday event, and it expressed a sentiment that had been buried for a long time. A royal source said, "It was heartbreaking to hear. It wasn't uttered with malice, but with a clear, sorrowful tone. He thinks of the sainted person he has learnt about his whole life as his grandmother. To him, Camilla is an institutional person, a part of his grandfather's existence, not a part of his own. This feeling goes right to the core of Queen Camilla's decades-long public relations problem. Even after years of carefully managing her image, doing charity work, and always supporting King Charles, she has never fully gotten rid of the image of the other woman. The coronation may have made her queen, but it couldn't give her the genuine love and respect that Diana had and that Princess Catherine now has. The coronation video itself was really revealing. As the king and queen walked out of Westminster Abbey, courtiers and family members bowed and curtsied profoundly before King Charles. When Queen Camilla died a few minutes later, the reaction was much less loud. This was a subtle but significant indicator of the firm's established hierarchy of love. George's statements make it seem like even the youngest generation knows about this hierarchy. He doesn't see Camilla as the sweet grandmotherly figure that the royal PR machine has tried to make her out to be. Instead, she is the lady who, according to his family's story, is connected to the anguish that his beloved Grandma Diana went through, and she now seems to be making him and his mother unhappy. Two sides of Camilla's personality, a pattern of behavior. Individuals who have had the opportunity to see Queen Camilla in private have said that the birthday event is not an exceptional occurrence. According to them, she constantly behaves in a manner that has resulted in her being referred to as a celebration dampener in private conversations. When she is in public, she is characterized as calm, kind, and helpful. Nevertheless, when she is in private, she is often described as being severe, controlling, and contemptuous of anything that does not fit with her schedule or sense of order. There are several accounts that have been shared by others who are acquainted with her that portray her as a woman who is resolute in her pursuit of power, even if it means sabotaging the enjoyment of others. It is stated that she insisted on shortening the activities that were set for young guests at a summer garden party that was held for a children's charity. This was due to the fact that there were time constraints which resulted in the children being disappointed and the organizers having to scramble because of the situation. During a Christmas lunch in Sandringham, it was said that Camilla abruptly put an end to a spontaneous and casual carol service that had begun to pleasure guests. This occurred when Camilla reminded everyone of the tight timetable, leaving the room in an uneasy silence. It has been stated that she prevented the family of the recipient from offering a surprise toast at a charity event that was held in honor of a longtime volunteer. This occurred despite the fact that the family had traveled a substantial distance to attend the event. According to reports, she believed that it was unnecessary and that it was not included in the official itinerary for the evening, which caused the family to get furious and disturbed. Individuals who are in favor of the Queen have said that her actions are not motivated by malice, but rather by a great desire to maintain the seamless operation and orderliness of the royal machine. The words of a previous courtier were said to be, "She is the guardian of formality. She is the one who ensures that the trains depart on time, which is an important responsibility in an organization that is dependent on regulations and precision." Despite the fact that it is not always well received, she considers it to be her obligation. Critics, on the other hand, believe that there is another explanation. They claim that there is a rivalry with the Princess of Wales, who is quite well known, that is not overt, but is very intense. Despite the fact that they seem to be on the same page in front of the cameras, many who are familiar with the two ladies claim that their relationship is founded on covert rules and subtle power tactics. Catherine is the future of the kingdom since she is naturally elegant. She is held in high esteem by the populace, and she is the mother of the king who will one day rule. In her current role as queen consort, Camilla has the highest level of responsibility inside the government. There is a common belief that this dynamic takes place when it comes to having an impact on the king. According to a number of sources, Camilla has sometimes halted or altered projects that Catherine was working on. She has either sent them to her own clientele or altered them in order to accommodate her own preferences on the schedule. This has left the princess with a sense of being excluded. The refusal to include George's dog in the birthday photo is seen by many people on the Wales's side as a further instance of this, since it serves as a subtle but unmistakable reminder of who is really in control. The palace's public relations campaign is in overdrive, attempting to contain the fallout. The Royal Communications Department saw the combination of these events as a public relations catastrophe, since it included a mourning prince, a cold queen, and the usage of Diana's name. A story that is so emotionally charged and easily available is much more damaging than a controversy that involves politics or finances, because it causes people to have a negative perception of the royal family as individuals. An excellent illustration of how to manage a crisis via the use of deflection is the response that the palace has provided. They do not quickly reply to the reports, despite the fact that they have been releasing a steady stream of positive news and photographs consistently. People have been posting photographs showing King Charles engaging in his charitable work, pleasant news about other members of the royal family, and carefully selected pictures of Queen Camilla in warm and friendly circumstances in an effort to shift the interpretation of the tale. The objective is to conceal the negative news by concealing it beneath a mountain of carefully selected positive news. The fact that this scenario is emotionally charged, however, makes it difficult to deal with. It is quite heartbreaking to see a little boy who is unable to celebrate his birthday with his dog, and the public's sympathy for him, particularly on the internet, has been remarkable. Two hashtags that are currently trending on social media are Justice for George and Team Catherine. Both of these hashtags are popular. As a result of the experienced sentiments of animosity against Camilla that had been repressed for a considerable amount of time have surfaced. There have been a number of commentators who have said that her true colors are finally showing. Due to the fact that this is not a story that can be easily disregarded as mere chatter, the palace is suffering from a difficulty. It raises three highly sensitive concerns for the monarchy: the health of the royal children, the public's enduring devotion for Princess Diana, and Queen Camilla's right to govern. All of these topics pertain to the monarchy. There is a monarchy at a crossroads, and the future is unknown. The debate on the future of Prince George is more than simply a disagreement inside the family. It is a conflict regarding the nature of the monarchy in the 21st century of the United Kingdom. On one side are King Charles and Queen Camilla, who have been in charge of 1,000 years of history. They are on the side of support. They believe that the institution is built on the principles of responsibility, discipline, and sacrifice among its members. On the other side, Prince William and Princess Catherine are of the opinion that the monarchy can only endure if it undergoes a transformation and becomes more modern, emotionally intelligent, and focused on the family. There is no way to predict what will take place in this conflict. Should William and Catherine emerge victorious, so creating a new benchmark for the manner in which the future king or queen is brought up, on the other hand, will tradition prevail, forcing Prince George to engage in an activity that his parents would prefer he not engage in. The rift has grown wider and the wounds are still raw. This is one thing that can be said with absolute certainty. The sorrow experienced by a child of 12 years old has shown that the tranquility of the House of Windsor is not as robust as it seems to be. In addition to this, it has shown that the specters of the past are still there. The Waleses are fighting for their vision of the crown, which they believe can be reconciled with the fundamental human need for a happy and secure family. They believe this to be possible. People from all across the world are eagerly anticipating the outcome of this new Carolean epoch to determine whether or not the heart will triumph over the crown. Thank you for watching the video. Please let us know your thoughts and goodbye for now.